down to 3. Miraculous Recovery is a magic card. That is the magic card we want to see. Okay, what do we do now?
Today on Commander Replay, we check out Lyra Dawnbringer and see if we can escape death late in the game and low on life. Next on Commander Replay. Help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipatx.com. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Lyra Dawnbringer today. Today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Ryan. Him and I kind of brainstormed this list together. I sent him what I thought was going to be a pretty good Lyra list, and then he made a couple tweaks to it, put his own personal stamp on it, so that's what we're playing today. Taking a look at this opening hand, I've been thinking about it for a few minutes. You know, it has a lot of cards that I like, but I think I'm gonna mulligan it, because our first creature isn't till 5 mana, and that's just very, very late. I like this a little bit better. Early plays with Steel Shaper's Gift, ramp with Pearl Medallion, and the Pearl Medallion gets us to Lyra a turn ahead of schedule, assuming we make our land drops, so I think this will be a little bit better. I'm a little bit nervous about making our land drops. We'll keep right here. Hopefully we don't get punished. There's a Sword of the Animus, that helps. Being that we just drew the Sword of the Animus, I was almost going to hold the Steel Shaper's Gift, but now that we've drawn it, I think I'm going to go for the Mask of Memory right here. Also get a much-needed shuffle. Hopefully we find our way into those lands that we so badly need. I think the deck's cheating on lands just a little bit. Mono White's in a tough place right now. Now that they're starting to print good Mono White cards, you're forced into this weird place where it still just takes you more cards to do what you're trying to do. Thrilling discovery for opponent. Yeah, I feel like everything eats up deck slots. It's like, oh, well, I need card draw. All right, I have to run all these mediocre card draw cards that only ever draw one card at a time. And, you know, you need to run a bunch of those. So that just takes up a lot of deck slots. Anyway, it brings it back to our turn. There's a third Plains. Excellent. Like that. Let's play the Pearl Medallion. I need to get more of these things. These things are expensive in paper, though. I think the white ones are the cheapest ones, but the other colors, last I looked, were somewhere up near $20. They need a reprint so badly. Weathered Wayfarer for Zach Ryan. I'm jealous. That's how you hit all your land drops. And you get to find some cool lands in the process. Almost thought about adding that one to this deck. Made about 2 or 3 changes from his deck list. I think it was a couple cards over 100, so I had to tinker with that for a second. And then I also wanted to bring 1 or 2 cards that would be good against Fish, because I knew Fish was bringing a Snapdax deck, so I wanted to not be completely unprepared for what is essentially a very good Voltron commander. Excellent. Land number 4. Love it. Which means the next turn, we can be on Lyra. And that sounds pretty good. Is anyone going to shoot our Sword of the Animist if we lay it out there now? I hope not. We'll keep the Mask of Memory behind as the one that we'll choose to protect. Actually, if we catch our 5th land, on turn 5, we'll be able to equip Sword of the Animist and Mask of Memory and swing with both. Assuming nothing goes wrong. There's a Toggo for opponent. This could get interesting. Toggo is a weird commander. Yeah, opponent's going to activate the Weathered Wayfarer. Gets a Myriad Landscape. Nice choice. Plays the landscape. And they pass. Take a peek at our commander. So we're playing Lyra Dawnbringer. 5 mana, 5/5, flying, first strike, lifelink. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Pretty cool angel commander. Also fits really well into the 99 of an angel deck. Probably one that you don't want to be running without. It's very good. I like that it gives your team lifelink. That opens up some cool avenues that make it more interesting than just like giving your angels +1/+1. There are a couple good life gain synergies in the deck. Slowly but surely, white is getting more life gain payoffs. And as those continue to trickle in, Lyra will continue to get better over time. Assuming that the rest of the format doesn't get better at a faster rate, which it probably will, cause green. But in general, the overall power level of Lyra has gone up just because there have been some nice life gain synergies over the past couple years, so that's been good. We draw an Ikoria. Ikoria's cool, but not that land we were looking for. Let's cast the Lyra right here. Do it for 4 with the cost reduction. Landfall for Toggo. Yep. Gadrock for opponent. Interesting. Oh, right. Toggo makes artifacts. That makes sense. I'm on board now. Taking a peek at our opponent's commanders. First up, we got Delta Fiend piloting Toggo Goblin Weaponsmith, partnered with Tekik Salvage Splicer. So Tekik does golem things. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 golem Whenever an artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it and a counter on each golem you control. Pretty cool right there, so I think I see what they're doing. They will make a lot of artifacts with Gadrock. Then as they sacrifice them, they will pump up the golem team. Yeah, seems pretty cool. Should be very interesting. You don't want to be a low toughness creature with a Toggo running around. Have to question how long this Weathered Wayfarer will actually stay on the battlefield with a Toggo in play. But Fish plays a land and passes. They did get a Profane Procession in last turn. Interesting. Apparently no creatures. I actually like this a lot. We draw an Eye of Vecna, which means we can equip the Sword of the Animist. But even if something goes wrong, we have this Eye of Vecna play set up, which I like. We're going to swing over to Delta Fiend just because they don't have any open mana. Fearing the open mana right now. I'd also prefer if Fish didn't shoot our thing, at least before we get this trigger. We'll go on the attack. Sword of the Animist trigger. Zach Ryan's going to crack his Myriad Landscape. Get our planes. Poke for 6. Is that still a poke? 6 you feel a little bit. We go up to 46. They go down to 34. 6 commander. And we'll drop in the Eye of Vecna. I feel pretty good about this. Oh, there's some chance we could catch the land, too. Nope, didn't catch the land. Stoneforge Mystic, though. More equipment. Yay! That means we can get Dowsing Dagger, and Dowsing Dagger will get us a lot of mana. With the Pearl Medallion in 2, 1 mana Stoneforge Mystic leaves up the 4 for Dowsing Dagger. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. We won't be able to draw with Eye of Vecna, though. When does this happen? The beginning of your upkeep, so we won't know our draw per turn, which is maybe a little frustrating. But I guess we also have Mask of Memory lined up, too, and that could get us into a land. We could just discard the Acroma or something like that. Tekik coming into play. Yeah. Makes a golem. They're going to swing back our way for 2. Yeah, we deserve that. In the middle, we've got Zach Ryan piloting Razia, Boros, Archangel. This is one that I played a couple weeks ago. It's not on video. I just played it late at night. I am slowly working my way through all of the Boros commanders. I've got about 14 left. Finally checked Razia off the list. I was excited going into the Razia game, and then became way less excited as I was building it and then playing through it. They're going to equip up a Sword of the Animist, yeah. What I noticed with Razia is that there aren't a lot of good synergy pieces for it. Like, the best you can really do is, like, Spite-Mare, Boros Reckoner type of stuff. And really, when you're talking about those type of cards, Gisella's just going to give you everything you want and so much more. It was actually pretty hard to use the Razia ability. It is a little tricky, and you can, like, kind of get people with it sometimes, but it's not the easiest thing to use. She's really expensive. She doesn't generate a ton of value. Her toughness is a little low relative to her mana cost. So there's just a lot of things in there that make her not great as a commander. Now, I will say, in a small handful of decks, she is actually very good in the 99. And I use good as a relative term relative to how it is as a commander. It's never going to be like an Ixbloom Ancient or something like that, but ooh, opponent exiled their commander with the Profane Procession. Don't love it. Back to the command zone. Yeah, so I mean, it's never going to be insane, but as a flyer that comes down with Flying Vigilance Haste late in a game, particularly alongside Aurelia where you get the 2 combats, that's actually pretty meaningful damage, and a lot of times allows you to take a player out of the game. The other place that's been decent for me is in Tap Creature Tribal. Again, just as a big flying beater, that Flying Vigilance Haste that comes in, and it's able to poke through. That deck is very much a ground-based deck, and it doesn't get a lot of damage through on the ground, so Razia just gives you a way to get some damage in there. So on rare occasions in the 99 of a deck, she is all right. But yeah, as a commander, it is kind of rough. It doesn't give you any of that value you need, and there aren't really a lot of great synergies for it. Brings it back to our turn. Do we draw? Yeah, let's draw with the Eye of Vecna here, since our thing went down. See if we can get that next land. Not the next land. Ouch. There's the next land. Found it. Nice. So we could go Stoneforge Mystic for 1, and then we could just put Boots on it. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. So it'll ETB. Oh, we can also get Hearth and Home. Yeah, Hearth and Home's pretty crazy, isn't it? All right, get Hearth and Home. Then we'll get the Boots so it doesn't get exiled. Make sure this targets. It does. Fantastic. Put the Boots on it. Attack Fish for 1 for exiling our thing. Oh, Fish also, while I was talking, missed all this. Fish dropped in a Chandra Flamecaller, used the -4, and killed Vadrock. Tekik, and all the other creatures that were in play, the Weathered Wayfarer as well. So missed that part. All the creatures went down. Got busy chatting about a Boros commander. You guys know me. Get me on a Boros commander and I'll never shut up. Toggo coming back to play. So far, though, Zach Ryan has done very well with the ramping in the early part of the game here, which is exactly what you need to do with an 8-mana commander. So they've got a good foundation going here. Sword of the Animus can continue to get them more mana as the game goes on. So they're in a decent spot. Our final opponent, by the way, is Fish Said Fish, piloting Snapdax, Apex of the Hunt. Yeah, a very cool commander that, honestly, I want to revisit. I don't know when I'll have time to do it, but Snapdax is pretty cool. Essentially, it lends itself to Voltron with the double strike, but the mutate ability, you can mutate onto some really cool creatures and get some really cool combinations of abilities. Just to name a few off the top of my head, like Aurelia Exemplar is really interesting. Anything with on-combat damage, like Liliana's Reaver, can be super spicy. There's the one that I think makes you discard, the Demon. I can't remember. Demon of Wailing Agonies, I think, if I remember. Just all kinds of really interesting interactions with that mutate ability on Snapdax that is very, very cool. And yeah, I don't know when, but I would love to take another look at it at some point. Opponent gets themselves a Preacher. You may choose not to untap Preacher during your untap step. For as long as Preacher remains tapped, gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice they control. That's interesting, man. If it didn't have opponent's choice on there, that card would be so good. Be so good. It'd essentially be like Rubinia, or not quite Marike. Marike's got some extra text on there, but in that vein, Fish wants no part of that. Gonna exile it with Profane Procession. I'm not sure if the Profane Procession counts our commander. I'm not really sure how that ruling works, so we'll see if it flips on the next one or if it takes 2 more for that to happen. We have the Eye of Vecna trigger. This could be interesting. So it'll take us 5 to get the Hearth and Home. We'll skip the Eye of Vecna, but by doing that, then we can't draw a land per turn, but we get another equipment, which is probably Dowsing Dagger. Yeah, that seems fine. So we're not paying. I mean, unless, if we drew a land off the top, then we'd have enough, but not a land off the top. All right. Play the Hearth and Home. Equip the Hearth and Home. Swing over to Zach Ryan this time, since they have a white creature. Can't block. Fish did get an Azra Oddsmaker, another one that's really cool with Snapdax and that mutate ability. One thing I just thought about, we do have the mana to re-equip the boots, so that's probably what we'll do, so we don't get exiled. Hearth and Home trigger. Blink the Stoneforge Mystic. Get a Plains. Use the ability. Dowsing Dagger. And then we'll re-equip the Hearth and Home. That'll keep us protected from the Profane Procession. And it's more mana intense, and we have exactly the mana for it. So we'll do that instead of the boots. There is some risk in that opponents could blow up the Hearth and Home, and whereas they probably wouldn't shoot the boots if it's only a single target spell. Rune Grinder. I like the cards in our hand. I'd prefer that stayed alive. Oh, we gotta get all these cards out of our hand now. Gross. Ugh. Well, double check, make sure we have a Maria Shepherd. Indeed we do, so all the permanents are easy to get back. 2 spells, though. Eerie Interlude, Austere Command. Won't be able to do much with those if they go down. Zach Ryan did get a Thundersong Trumpeter into play last turn, and that's one that I've been starting to use with General Ferris Rokirik. Haven't got it in play yet, but I'm really excited about getting to test it out at some point. Removing the ability to attack or block can actually be fairly disruptive, especially against something like a Snapdax, where that's a combat deck. They're going to try to get there with commander damage, and that's an Hour of Revelation. Oh my god. Oh, that's not ideal. It's really not ideal. Yeah, hopefully we find an Amaria Shepherd. Oh, it's a May? May discard their hand and draw 7. No, I like this hand a lot. No. We have some choices this turn. If we don't think any removal's coming, we could go Akroma or we could go Lyra. Both are good. If we don't think any artifact removal's coming, we could go Cage Sun. Gilded Lotus, yep. More ramp. Get that mana for Razia. Probably looking at Razia next turn if they don't have anything else they want to do. Fish took the wheel. Jessica Thrice Reborn into the graveyard. That's a nasty one with Snapdax. Aerial Responder, another cool card to mutate onto. You can mutate now? Nope. Unburial Rites on the Azra Oddsmaker. Yeah, that makes sense. If we catch a land off the top, I think I might be on Cage Sun, Righteous Valkyrie. Yeah, I think I like that play, because that allows us to set up for a really big next turn if no removal happens, but also allows us to set up for some small plays with Dousing Dagger and Mask of Memory, so I like that. Play the Plains, play a Cage Sun, choose white, cast the Righteous Valkyrie. One floating, can't do much with it, so we'll pass like that. Forsaken Monument, interesting. Does a lot of interesting things. Colorless creatures get +2/+2. When you tap a permanent for colorless mana, it adds an additional colorless. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. And they're going to cast a Mycosynth Wellspring. And this one searches for a basic land, puts it into their hand. Good value right there, getting that life gain also. Expedition Map, yeah. Rocking and rolling on the value now. Is it Razia time? Opponent's got a lot of mana. Opponent's got a Sunhome in play too, so like, if they get Razia in, they can double strike it, and that'll kill you in 2 turns. Yeah, here comes Razia. She's in. Who's getting it? Coming our way. Yeah. Our life total does matter with this in play, so I get it. I get it. I have to wonder, if I were going to play mono white angels myself, if I would use Bruna in the command zone instead of Lyra. That does a couple things. One, it gives you reanimation from your command zone, so you can kind of just like dump all the big stuff like a Chroma into the graveyard and pull it out very easily, which is cool. 2, you have a much easier time putting together Brazella, which is always exciting. But that does come at the cost of your commander being more expensive, not being an Anthem with a bunch of lifelink, and that type of stuff. So I'm not sure which way I would go. Here comes Snapdax. Yep. Luckily, it's only 4 damage. No Death Touch. No Death Touch that I'm seeing. So they can shoot something for 4. Razia's an enticing target, but then they can just use the thing. They're going to try it. I wouldn't. You can just shoot the Azra Oddsmaker if they want. Yeah, Razia targeting the Azra Oddsmaker. Is this a May? It is not a May. So Azra Oddsmaker going to go down. And down it goes. Got someone with Razia. Nice. I don't think I was able to successfully use the ability. I think I threatened it a few times. Maybe I used it once. I can't remember in the game that I played. Oop, yep, there's a Rally Exemplar. That's another really good one in that deck. Hopefully that gets some bad blood going over there. Yeah, it's now a 7/5 with Double Strike. That'll kill you in a hurry. Coming our way. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, it's got a Bloodthirsty Blade on it. Oh, Zach Ryan plays Bloodthirsty Blade. Oh, that's so disgusting. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to have to austere command, to be completely honest. Luckily, we have some mana to our name. Our mana doubler did survive, so play Dousing Dagger. We'll give Zach Ryan the plants for not shooting our thing. Put Dousing Dagger on the Righteous Valkyrie. Mask of Memory on the Righteous Valkyrie. Equip the mask. Go to combat. Poke Delta Fiend. Mask of Memory and Dousing Dagger trigger. Dousing Dagger will flip. Mask of Memory will hit. We'll draw 2... discard 1. We don't have an easy way to get the Acroma back right now, which doesn't make me the most happy. Yeah, all these cards are good. Oh man, it's tough to give up a Plains too when you have doubled mana. Makes your Plains a lot more valuable. I think I'm going with the Eerie Interlude. Makes me sad. I mean, that's a really good card that potentially game winning. You dodge a board wipe. But we need the rest of these cards, I think. Definitely don't want to destroy artifacts. We do have a nice artifact, so we will destroy all creatures. Creatures get blown up. Play the Plains. Do we have enough to do both here? 7. No, we're 1 short. Why does that have to come in tapped? Why? I'm going to go Mangara to refill our hand. We have mana right now, and, you know, I really do want the Nyx Lotus, but I think we need more cards at this point. We've got... Oh, we do have enough. Fantastic. Did I miscount? Oh, because this one adds 4. Ha ha. Nice. Got them both. Fantastic. Love it. We are well set up for next turn. Oh, and Fish is at 59 life, by the way, because that had lifelink when it hit us. Also, we're down to 18 and 14 commanders, so we need to get going on that lifelink plan a little bit. Opponent cracks their expedition map. Spine of Isha. I'm sure I'm not going to like this. Cage Sun, probably? Yep, Cage Sun. Ugh. Needed that one to stick. Luckily, we still have the Nyx Lotus. Get a little bit of extra mana with that. It's not going to be nearly as good as Cage Sun at this moment, though. Razia back to play. Yep. Gonna double strike it. Let's see where this is going. Going into Fish, thank God. Fish does have a ton of life, and a ton of life is a recipe for trying to get there with commander damage, so Makes a lot of sense. Finally taking some pressure off us. We're down to 1 card, and somehow we haven't drawn from these 2 opponents, which is a little annoying. But yeah, there's a shot for 12 commander. Fish goes down to 47. Gonna feel that a little bit. And they're gonna put the Bloodthirsty Blade on our Mangara, just to be annoying. But does give it 2 more power, which is 2 more life gain. So that's kind of nice. Question is, do we play this before combat or after combat? That's a Vampiric Tutor on the upkeep. Sure, I'm not going to like this. Fish is a little behind on mana, so I almost wonder if they need like a mana play. Mana Geyser would be wild. Although Mana Geyser's a little tricky in Mardu. Your color has got to be lined up the right way, but I don't know. I don't know what you go for right here. Maybe just a sword or something like that. There isn't a ton of pressure on board. Like, there's a little bit with the Razia, but, you know, a flying blocker will take care of that. Maybe you get a removal spell or a protection spell, like a Teferi's Protection, just to not die to Razia. That's a Ruinous Ultimatum. Disgusting. So it's just going to be all of the removal this game is what's going to happen. Well, there's an Avacyn. That's the card you want against a Ruinous Ultimatum. Unfortunately, that's a little late. Mycosynth Wellspring and Spine of Isha have death triggers. Goes back to its owner's hand. Lovely. Let's see if we fished out any swords or path yet. I don't think we have. We have not. Makes me a little nervous about going in on the Avacyn. Might go Akroma first. Akroma will bait better probably than Avacyn will. We're in a bad spot now because opponents have way more cards than us. We only drew 1 with that Mangara, which was incredibly disappointing. Ruinous Ultimatum's a little OP, honestly. How many times have you cast 1 and not won the game? Yeah, there's the other Akroma. How much mana do we have? 12? That's 8. That's 7. That's also 7. Yeah, it looks like we're on 1 angel a turn. Gonna go for Akroma. Big Akroma. Because even though I like this one, I can reasonably deal with losing this one. Avacyn can kind of just take you home if you can dodge all the exile. So basically, I'm trying to bait the exile. We'll attack Fish right here. We've lost so many good cards. Like, almost all of our value cards are in the graveyard now. It's a little disappointing. 3 board wipes. Ugh. At least no one else has much. Oh, importantly, this is also a blocker for Razia. Pro-red, so not at all worried about the Razia. We're on turn 10 already. I feel like this game got to turn 10 in a hurry. Yeah, about 45 minutes in. There's definitely games that are still stuck on like turn 6 or turn 7 around the 45-minute mark. So yeah, everyone's played really quickly up to this point. Su-Chi coming in for opponent. Yep. Pia and Kiran Nalar. Gonna make some artifacts. This is the situation I was talking about earlier, though, where Bruna in the command zone is probably a little bit better because we can start getting stuff back because we've lost so much. Especially getting back a Mangara to get some card draw, that would be the most ideal. But your early game is going to be a lot worse with Bruna. Gaia Reach Sanitarium is interesting. Opponent's going to activate. See what we find. War Room. Oh, we so need that War Room. I guess we're discarding this Akroma, even though I was planning to get that down this turn and get that big damage going on this Akroma. He discarded a Chain Reaction. Yeah, Chain Reaction does not affect Akroma. Nope, that's an Aurelia. Luckily, this Akroma protects us from that. Yeah, Aurelia and Razia are pretty good together. It's a lot of damage in the air. It's also a lot of blocking because it's all vigilant. With haste. Gonna send it over to Delta Fiend. Yep. And back to Delta Fiend once again. You know, I probably would have put 1 on Fish right there, but oh man, I think opponent's got that Spine of Isha in hand. Yeah, this is probably going to be the Avacyn turn. Haven't seen the Swords or Path come up yet. And just hope they don't find it. Notably, Fish leaving 1 mana up. They have a Greater Gargadon that's been suspended. Still got a bunch of counters on it, though, I think. Does that say 10 or does that say 1? It's on 9 now, so it was on 10. That's a Grim Tutor. I imagine just card draw at this point, being low on cards. Akroma is actually also really nice against Snapdax since we can block it. Almost wonder, do you go for like a Wheel of Fortune here? I mean, maybe that's wishful thinking on us because we just want more cards, but Fish gets a card. Doesn't play anything, though, which is kind of interesting. Ooh, Starnheim Aspirant is kind of interesting. Play the War Room. If we cast the Starnheim Aspirant, it will then cost us 6 to get Avacyn and 5 to get Lyra. Yeah, that's still kind of expensive. So let's activate the War Room. We just need cards so incredibly badly. That's a Lyra Dawnbringer. That is a card you want to see. So what I think we do is play this Avacyn. Actually, no. Let's do it this way. Let's We'll swing the Akroma into Zach Ryan. I just trying to fish out removal is what I'm trying to do. Oh, Zach Ryan says he has double strike up. Wow, we just passed our turn. Wow, that hurts so much. Oh my god. Oh, I hit F2. Oh, that's frustrating. Wow, that's actually going to make us lose the game, straight up. That is 9 mana that we can now not spend. Tekik coming back to play. Oh, that's frustrating. You know, I almost never did that in the, first 4-ish years of the channel, and then the last year or so, it's been happening a lot more. 2 attacks over to Fish. Gonna double strike the 4/4. Love it. That's a Crackling Doom. Fantastic. Well, at least it's not getting the Avacyn. I guess that kind of works out a little bit. Take down Aurelia. Maybe that works out. Maybe that works out. I still don't love it. At least if nothing else, we could have got the Starnheim Aspirant in, and that would set us up for some better turns in the future. So the 4/4 goes down. Fish is only going to take a hit for 2. Still more cards in hand than I would really prefer from opponents. Oh, Delta supposedly may have been able to sacrifice a non-attacking 4/4. Oops. Burnished Heart. Cracks a Burnished Heart. Tekik gets a counter. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Boy, would a Karmic Guide make me happy right now. Really anything good that we can cast that's less than 8 or 9 mana. Yeah, Karmic Guide would actually be awesome, because you go Karmic Guide, Rhea, Avacyn, and probably get the Starnheim Aspirant in. Mana Tithe. We're just going to discard that Mana Tithe. Would I love to get someone with it? Yes, but it's so late in the game that people just have mana. Early in the game, though, you can get someone with it. I'd have to go back and look, but the Ruinous Ultimatum, I assume they tapped out for that. Greater Gargadon, yeah. This was a wild card when it was in Standard. Because basically every time someone plays removal on your stuff, you just sack it to the Gargadon, and then you're ticking down to this giant thing that's going to come in with haste. Very interesting card. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, it's just super interesting. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Plains. Love it. Get the Plains into play. Let's try Avacyn first. Actually, yeah, I think we have enough to do all this. So let's go Starnheim Aspirant, Avacyn. Draw with the War Room. Angel of Serenity is a very good card, actually. Pass turn like that. So we need to survive. We need to not die to attacks, and we need our board state to survive, which it largely hasn't done all game. Opponents can activate Mosswarp Bridge for a Bosch Iron Golem. Deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to any target. Sacrificed artifact's mana value. They have a Spine of Isha on their hand. Luckily, they don't have, tons and tons of mana. Most of their ramp got blown up. But that might be an Angel of Serenity target just because our life total is so low. This turn, if our board state holds up, we're probably thinking about Lyra to get the lifelink going, and Rhea to start getting some reanimation. That's a Feast and Famine. I guess we're okay with Avacyn, but that does give them more mana to be able to do a lot of things. Equip Feast and Famine to the Tekik. Please go to Fish. Worn Power Stone. 7/7 over to Fish. I like this for a lot of reasons. If the damage gets in on Fish, that's good. They also discard a card, and Fish has shown a lot of tutors and a lot of removal, none of which has been great for us. 2, if they have something, they are likely to use it right here and hopefully keep our stuff alive. They hit with the Feast and Famine. Discards a Swamp. Toggo coming in. Looks like Toggo got rather expensive. Died a few times in all the board wipes. Ameria is now active for Zach Ryan. I was kind of questioning the Burnished Heart play last turn, why he didn't do something bigger, but now seeing that he has an active Ameria, I get it. Especially with all the removal that's gone off this game. Aurelia's in the graveyard. Watch out for that one. Also a Keeper of the Accord. They have quite a few lands. They probably only get land off of us. So, yeah. Aurelia, think recast Razia. Start killing some people. Yep, there's Aurelia. I wonder if Zach Ryan will be interested in solving our Fish problem. Razia coming back for 1,000,000 mana. Looks like they're one short of the Sunhome, but Razia into Fish twice would take Fish down. Question is he worried about Delta Fiend? Is he worried about us? He can't block us profitably, but he also can't attack into us profitably either, so. Decides to not go for the kill. Gonna send the Razia into Delta Fiend. There's the Aurelia combat. They block with a Thopter. Yep. I'm back to combat. This one over to Fish, and Aurelia the other way. Chaos Warp on the Razia. Nice. Chaos Warp does get around Avacyn, and I'm sure they were trying to save it for that. But Zach Ryan pressuring the life of Fish a little bit. And opponent's going to use the Razia trigger. Didn't see the targets. They reveal a mountain. They get an extra land. That's a blasphemous act. I'm fine with that. Don't be a path. Don't be a swords or path on top of it. Opponent's going to do 2 damage to our face. Not ideal. Yeah, I mean, I guess with active Ameria, you can just get the Aurelia back next turn. And if they have the mana, I think they can recast Razia again. So, yeah, he's in a position to just keep threatening with the Razia. Tekik triggers, but everything's out of play. Greater Gargadon still ticking down. It's on 7. Snapdax into play, no mutate. Yeah, opponent just trying to get anything going at this point. Esper Sentinel is a cheap magic card that we can play. We've been firmly in the very expensive portion of our deck, which hasn't been amazing. This turn definitely has to be Lyra. We need some life. And I'm thinking we go Rhea, Esper Sentinel, probably won't have enough for the War Room. Let's do some attacks. We'll leave the Starnheim Aspirant. We could just send it all into Delta, I guess. But yeah, we'll leave the Starnheim Aspirant back, just in case. Send this into Delta. They were doing a lot. They still have a Feast and Famine. Fish is very low on cards. Delta has a couple. We go back to 21. Delta's down to 15. That is a much-needed 9 life right there. Still not exactly where I'd like to be, but it's better than where we were. Cast Lyra Dawnbringer, and then cast Esper Sentinel. Once again, we just need our board state to stick, and we'll actually be in a very good spot this coming turn. I probably go OG Akroma first. I might do the math, see which one I like better here. Valakut Awakening for opponent into the Esper Sentinel. Looking for answers. They pay. Unfortunate. Okay, getting this Akroma would be plus 13 damage if we attacked with everything, based on the keywords that we have currently. So that is probably the smarter of the 2 plays. Ichor Wellspring for opponent. Vital Splicer coming in, yep. You know what's actually really dangerous at this point in the game? A wheel from our opponents, because let's say Zach Ryan plays a wheel, that means Fish is going to get a fresh 7 and the untap first, and that probably gets us killed. So I'd really not like to see a wheel go off. We are set up, and our opponents are pretty low on resources, so refilling everyone would be really bad for us. We only have 1 mana up, so there's just not a lot we can do to protect ourselves. Opponent gets a Golem and puts the sword on the Golem. It is ready to go for next turn. But we have quite a bit of damage in the air if everything holds up, so they may not get a next untap. Ameria trigger. Get back Aurelia. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. It is unlikely that we're discarding the Angel of Serenity. Does a little bit too much. Don't love giving Fish an extra card right here. They seem to be fairly stuck last game. Oh my god. Akroma's Will, huh? Akroma's Will is one of the few cards that we will discard the Angel of Serenity for. Akroma's Will is very good, and should probably give us table lethal if our board sticks. Scourge of the Throne. Who's got the most life? Fish does. This one's not my favorite, honestly. It's fine, but generally when I've seen it, you only get 1 or 2 extra combats with it over the course of a game. Just because once you attack a player, they lose a bunch of life, and you probably have more life than they do. So it kind of works against itself a little bit. But this is a reasonable time for it. Everyone on pretty low life, so. Now compare that to like a Morag, which is just insane, because Morag pumps the team, can give you multiple extra combats in a turn. I'd run Morag, personally. He's probably running all of them, honestly, but goes into Fish for 3, and I think he passed the second combat right there. Just gotta survive Fish's turn. We need to hope they don't find removal, or hope they don't find some way to just kill us. I think we're at 14? 14 commander. Yeah, that's not great. So some sort of unblockable shenanigans. They need +1. Mythos of Snapdax. Please don't be Sacrifice. It's Sacrifice. Fantastic. Really? Our glorious board state going to go down once again. And yeah, they're keeping our Starnheim Aspirant, so we're going to get crushed right here. Yeah, he probably should have dropped Fish. Lyra to the command zone. Does Fish attack with Snapdax? Yeah, I really wish Zach Ryan took down Fish. I mean, I know that changes the balance of power, and then like we have pretty good attacks into him, but the way Fish is playing. Yeah, here comes Snapdax. Shump with the Starnheim Aspirant. We're low on cards, so, you know, probably not hard casting a ton. Pyre of Heroes is an interesting card. Oh, what do we get at 6? Lyra is weird. Aurelia costs 6 mana, which gets you into all of these glorious 7 drops. We get a Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Oh, that's interesting. Dawnbreak Reclaimer is a card that I can get behind, so let's cast Lyra for way too much mana. I mean, Zach doesn't care that much because he still has a Maria. Play the Pyre of Heroes. What's the worst creature we have? Stoneforge Mystic, probably? Stoneforge Mystic would not be great. Pay the 2. Sacrifice Lyra. Back to the command zone. Get Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Go to the end step. See who wants to be friends. I know what we can do. We'll give Zach Ryan a Keeper of the Accord. Did we get Keeper of the... I was aiming for Keeper of the Accord. I don't know if we hit Burnish Chart, though. He's going to give us back Starnheim Aspirant. Yeah, that's not the most exciting, but it's a blocker. Is a blocker. Yep, we clicked the Burnish Chart by accident. Help us get Lyra back just a little bit cheaper, assuming we survive.
Tekik back to play for opponent.
Amaria the Sky Ruin. Bring back Aurelia. They did not crack their Burnish Chart beforehand. Maybe they just want the bodies in play. Bring back Aurelia. This is probably the most Ameria triggers I've ever seen in the game. Usually, you get 1 or 2 of them, and that's usually enough to close it out, but there's been a lot of removal. We have the most life, and Fish has the most life, so they could potentially get a bunch of combats here. And I think they've got Sunhome. Oh god, what is this? Nova Pentacle. The next time the source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, that damage is dealt to target creature an opponent controls instead. Ugh. Really? Opponent pays for the Esper Sentinel. Don't love it. Not drawn great with Esper Sentinel here. We've drawn 0 with it. Here's one you don't see. I don't even know what set that's out of. I would guess Ice Age if I had to take a stab, but it could be Legends or something like that. No clue. Dragon coming our way. Not ideal. Aurelia over to Fish. Burnish Tart over to Fish. Yeah, there's a bunch of triggers that are not amazing. It's going to be 3 combats. That means we're probably going to die because they can double strike something. Question is, what do they double strike? We'll take this first one. We no longer have the most life. That's a good place to be. Dragon coming back our way. Yep. And they can just kill us on the next one. Well, actually, no, because they can yeah. So if they double strike this, we go to 3, which isn't great, but we can actually block the next one and survive. Yep, double strikes the dragon. Hopefully they have no additional... there's a Kessig Wolf run up. They don't have that much mana, though. Down to 3. Oh, the dragon doesn't get another attack. Thank God. Aurelia over to Fish. We'll see what happens on Fish's turn, because all Fish has done is play removal, which isn't great. But if we can get Lyra and Akroma's Will, we can make a big push. Don't have exactly the amount of damage that we want, but Gargadon ticking down. What's this thing at? 6? Athreos Shroud Veiled. I'm going to take a peek in our deck real quick. We have a 6-drop in play, so we can get to a 7-drop. Sarah's Emissary seems like a solid place to be in this moment. Athreos trigger on Aurelia. No attacks from Fish, thankfully. Miraculous Recovery is a magic card. That is the magic card we want to see. Okay, what do we do now? What are the modes on this thing? Flying, Vigilance, and Double Strike. Yeah, we need our commander to get the Double Strike and the lifelink, which is unfortunate. How much is our commander? Oh god, it's 9. Do we have enough for both? That'll be 9. And then we have either enough for Miraculous Recovery or Akroma's Will, not enough for both. This is tricky. Just out of curiosity, we don't have a Burnish Heart, do we? We do the Mary Shepherd Burnish Heart combo. We do not. What's this thing? Human Soldier? Oh man, what to do? So Miraculous Recovery and Akroma's Will on OG Akroma. It'd be 7 plus 5 is 12. The double strike with Akroma's Will would kill Zach Ryan. But Fish would survive. Delta would survive. And there's kind of a lot to worry about on the backswing. Well, maybe, let's see. Chroma would go to 7, which is like, we'd get both off of Fish. I think that's the play. I think we can try and kill Zach Ryan and Fish, and then we'll just deal with Delta Fiend. So, Miraculous Recovery on OG Akroma. Oh no, we're not going to get the lifelink. Oh, that's the part we're missing. We do kind of need that lifelink. Yeah, that's the kicker in all of this. I mean, we could stay defensive for a turn, I guess. They have a Kessig Wolf Run, which is actually really bad for us. Oh, I know what we can do. Then we could then sacrifice Dawnbreak Reclaimer to get Sarah's Emissary on creatures. That is a very reasonable line of play, I think. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Achroma. Oh, we probably shouldn't try to kill Zach Ryan. He has this stupid thing out that will be terrible for us. Yeah, that's not ideal. Achroma gives us a lot of action against Zach Ryan. Okay, yeah, so let's just kill Fish, because Fish is almost entirely removal and has us on, like, near commander lethal and all the stuff, so they interact with our deck the most favorably. So, swing into Fish. We'll use the Achroma's Will if we have to, but I'm going to try and stay defensive with the Achroma's Will. Fish goes down, finally getting someone out of this game, turn 15. Go to our second main phase. Use the Pyre of Heroes, sacrifice Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Yeah, get Sarah's Emissary, and then choose creatures, and then hold up this Achroma's Will, so that hopefully no one can interact with it. Pass like that. This one wasn't in his original deck list, but I brought it in because I knew we were going to be facing Snapdax, and I just wanted something against Voltron, because as I was looking at the list, I'm like, this seems a little soft to Voltron, especially if we don't hit a board wipe, so I just wanted some kind of action. And in the few games that I've gotten this out, it's been really good. I survived what would have been lethal attack from the Locust God, a bunch of Locusts with shared animosity, and yeah, Sarah's Emissary ate up all that damage, so it can be really good. Indomitable Creativity. Destroy X target artifacts or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until... Yeah, nope, that's not going to work for us. Let's play this Achroma's Will. It's going to be lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors. Though I was hoping to leave that up against what Zach Ryan has going, but... We do need this Sarah's Emissary to stick around. Opponent did target some of their own stuff. They targeted this thing, thankfully. Come on, let us draw. Ooh, we draw an Enlightened Tutor. What can we get with that? I mean, Enlightened Tutor for Expedition Map, get a Maria, is not a bad idea. Opponent gets some stuff. Wellspring triggers, Tekik triggers, Goblin Engineer comes in. Looks like they get a Hearth and Home. That's not the most ideal. Oh, is that thing really going to kill us? Are we going to die to a Hearth and Home after all? No, we still have Sarah's Emissary. We're protected from creatures. Oh, thank God. I'm working really hard to not die. Tekik is a 7/7. Seems very good. They could equip the Hearth and Home, swing into Zach Ryan, who doesn't have any blockers, and blink their Goblin Engineer. Is not the worst thing I've ever heard of. Get themselves more lands. Or... Zach Ryan say, well, F, that's quite the angel over there. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Equip the Hearth and Home. The good news is we're protected for this turn. If Zach Ryan comes up with the swords or a path, it won't be great. But the only real logical attack right here is to go over to Zach Ryan, and he might have to try and defend against that. No attacks. I mean, the problem they're looking at is that they're kind of just dead in the air. Pray for no interaction. Opponent cracks a Wayfarer's Bauble, that's fine. Thing gets bigger. Check to see what we can get with Enlightened Tutor in this deck. No True Conviction. Well of Lost Dreams is not terrible, though we need to get the life gain first. Aetherflux Reservoir is life gain. Expedition Map on Amaria really does seem like a solid line. Because we have the creatures we need in our graveyard, we just need to pull them out. Amaria trigger for opponent, yep. Luckily, I don't think they had anything too threatening in there. I think Keeper of the Accord is probably their best one. Thundersong Trumpeter could be annoying if they get boots for it. Yeah, bring him back the Trumpeter. Is there anything with the more immediate payoff than Amaria? Because that is slow. Angel of the Ruins is an artifact. It's worth keeping in mind. Oh, this thing? This is exactly the thing we need. How do we get that thing? This would exactly protect us. I think. Would be reduced to 0 or less. It becomes 3 instead. Yeah, then transform it. Yeah, that's exactly. Ooh, Marshall's Anthem. Marshall's Anthem would give us the payoff that we are looking for. Opponent's going to activate the Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Hopefully they don't find anything. Discard the planes. We have any more 8-drops? Nope. All the expensive stuff is gone. Come on, nothing crazy. Come on, nothing crazy. Port Razor, more combats. Oh no, it crashed. Oh, that's so frustrating. All right, let's find out if anyone had any interaction. So yeah, opponent said we were going to untap, so I think we were going to have that because we go Enlightened Tutor for Marshall's Anthem, get back New Acroma, along with everything else. Avacyn also. Avacyn, Angel of Serenity also. Yeah, that gets rid of all their stuff. And then New Acroma. And New Acroma makes it easy to just put lethal on our opponents from where we're at. So yeah, I think we would have had it. A little frustrating that the game crashed right there, but we got a pretty good look at the deck, saw a lot of it. We got so many things blown up. Almost all of our value pieces got blown up, and that wasn't great. We were really kind of fighting toward the later parts of the game. Not much card draw until the War Room showed up. And, just everything in the deck is so expensive. We couldn't really cast 2 spells a turn, and that was killing us. That's where you really want to get, like, Nykthos into play. And I'm actually thinking there's a lot of really good utility lands for this deck. I think you really want a Weathered Wayfarer, probably even in addition to this Expedition map. I have no idea what I would cut. Cut something, but I would probably add the Weathered Wayfarer just because there's a lot of utility lands you need to get. You want to get Emeria, you want to get Nykthos so you can actually make mana on par with everyone else, and you're probably going to need a card draw land at some point in there, Bonder's Enclave or one of those. So that's 3 or 4 utility lands, and sometimes you'll run into them, but other times you won't. We really didn't. We saw mostly basics this game, and yeah, that's the type of stuff that can change a game. So yeah, I'd probably add a Weathered Wayfarer to the deck for that reason. As far as the Angels, having played a lot of Angels myself, there's a lot of choices to make, especially at 7 mana. I do think Sarah's Emissary is one that's worth including. Noticeably absent is Angelic Arbiter and Chancellor of the Annex. Those are the 2 that are really good at slowing down your opponents. So I really like those ones. I did cut an Adarkar Valkyrie right before the game just to get this Emissary in. That would have given us another 6-drop to go to, and probably decent with all the removal flying this game. But yeah, the issue with mono white is that you need permanents, and if you can't keep permanents in play, you are going to struggle, and that's what happened throughout that game. There were like 4 board wipes, I think, super nasty, and just couldn't keep any of the stuff we really needed, and that's where having good spells matter, because if you compare white to blue, blue's going to get their card draw from some instant or sorcery that's just the only way to really interact with it is a counterspell, whereas your card draw is going to be 1 at a time and based on a permanent that needs to stay in play, and if someone blows it up, then you're in a pretty bad spot. But anyway, we got a good look at the deck. It did see some of the struggles with mono white. I really do like Boros Angels a lot better. You have so much more utility. You have wheel effects, so you can draw and put your big creatures into the graveyard at the same time. Aurelia allows you to close the game really quickly. You only need 2 or 3 creatures to do it, instead of usually 5 or 6 with the mono white Angels deck. And that's usually only going to kill 1 player, so yeah, just it does have things that it struggles with. Definitely saw some of those this game, but overall thought we played well. Only the one mistake in the middle there, which actually kind of worked out because we didn't have to sacrifice an Avacyn. Avacyn stuck in there for a few turns and at least protected us from big attacks for a while, so I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter in Russ Helms. Russ, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below.